Hello and welcome to The Shift. Today we are in Sedona at Buddha Beach, about to have a nice cold plunge. And before we do that, we thought we would take this opportunity in this beautiful place to have a lovely conversation. Today I have a very, very good friend and brother, Tyler Robinson, with me, and really excited for you guys to hear his story and what has been going on in his life. How you doing, Tyler?
I'm great, Ben. Thank you. It's so good to be here together in this beautiful place.
Yeah, man.
I'm looking forward to our conversation.
Me too, man. Me too. And so, to start us off, what comes up for you when I ask about the moment or moments in your life that have facilitated your shift towards loving awareness?
Yeah, that's a beautiful question. And for me, it's kind of a long story. I was raised in the church, which has laid the foundation for my spiritual practices from age 0, from the day I was born, really. And I'm really grateful for that because my whole life has been informed with spiritual backing. And so the path that I'm on now is simply an escalation of that and a variation of that. My path has sort of accelerated, and that has, it started with just injuring my back and needing to do something to help myself heal, and that led me to yoga, which led me down a path of looking internally. And when I moved to New Orleans in 2011, I started going to a Bhakti yoga studio, which got me really out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
There was, meditation at the beginning of the class and Dharma talks and singing, all of which were uncomfortable for me because it was talking about deities and things which I was taught to be uncomfortable with.
Yeah.
Right? And meditation, I was taught to be uncomfortable with. But really, it's all prayer to me. And so there was a hint of familiarity from singing and praying and doing those things in the church. And that opened me up a little bit to explore what else is out there. And so I began to have a meditation and a little bit of a chanting practice on my own. And I joined a yoga teacher training about a year ago. And at the same time, I started speaking with a therapist who is a yogi, and we were really aligned in a lot of things. My girlfriend and I began speaking to him. And so those things kind of merged together to form a stronger practice. And at the same time, or during this time, I started exploring sort of consciousness and reading books on consciousness and delving into not only practices but molecules that help sort of get you into a more open state where you can explore your own consciousness and your own internal workings in sort of a short period of time. And on top of that, I've been able to go on a journey with guys like you and some of our other close friends. We've all been sort of on this path together, and it has just helped reinforce and invigorate that journey.
Oh.
And here we are at the beginning of that journey every day.
It's really cool. It's really cool to hear from so many different people and kind of hear how some people, would have a really vivid memory of like all these things and how many things there were, right, that led to this awakening. What is something within your life that used to frustrate you that now you find that you can laugh at?
That's another great question. It's one of those things that confronts me every day.
Yeah.
And I still get frustrated at it from time to time. And that is when I observe others pulling themselves through something difficult that is unnecessary, or at least from my perspective, unnecessary, right?
Yeah.
Because it's only through my perspective that I experience these things.
Yeah.
Close relationships is a place where I encounter those instances quite often. And all of these practices have helped me, instead of jumping in and reacting and saying, oh, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that like that.
Yeah.
Here's what I would do. It just opened a space for allowing and loving in that moment, sending love when someone is going through a frustrating time. And just a little smile internally at like when those thoughts come up, like, jump in there, you got to help out here. And just watching that go by, smiling at it, waving to it, and allowing.
Yeah, I can definitely resonate with that for sure. So now that, I guess we could say that you are, let's just say, deeper into your journey, for lack of a better term, what are some things that you find that continue to support this journey?
Just remaining grateful, looking around here, looking at each tree, realizing that it's giving us so much. It's holding water in the soil, in these arid soils in Arizona. In the winter time right now, it's allowing the sun to come through to warm us. In the summertime, these would be beautiful shade trees. Carrying that spirit of gratitude, like, really, really, really supports my everyday. That coupled with, meditation and just finding myself in circles of sharing and being able to share and allowing space for others to share if they like. Those things for me have been really, really important lately.
It's beautiful, man. I come to that quite often, just the ability to look at everything around you and just realize how much there is to be grateful for. I feel like we can get into our minds at times, and it can take us down some really dark paths, but just being aware of what is happening and everything that had to go into us being here in this moment. There's so much to take from that. I really like that. If you had to give one book to every human being on this planet, what book would that be?
This is such a challenging question,
Of course.
right? Because I'm like thinking through my library at home and the books I brought with me here. I would say that, and this is almost cheating because I go back to this book almost daily, and it's here with me now, and I was only recently introduced to it, but it's a book called Awareness by Anthony DeMello. I can't remember how it even came into my possession or into my consciousness to purchase it, but I think I've given away like 10 copies in the past month to friends and family. And it's just one of those books that every page has something that will just jump out at you.
Yeah.
And even if you've read that page 5 times, you read it again, it's like, oh my God. Wow, that just hit me in the face.
Yeah.
And I just really like the direct manner of speaking in it. And the content is just beautiful. The reminder of what love is and what awareness is, and how sometimes, actually a lot of times, it may be counter to what we were taught growing up. It's just been a good tool for awareness.
Awesome.
Lives up to the name.
Last question. So if you had to share something with everyone listening, something that has greatly shifted for you that you feel could be of service to them within their life, what would that be?
Gratitude, really. When you look at the world, in my experience, when I kind of shifted to look at the world with eyes of just being grateful, even for those challenges and for those folks who are put in front of you as, a challenge, or that have pulled you into a difficult situation in the past. And thinking back and being grateful for what I've learned, that shift has been incredible, because in the past, when I would think back to that challenging situation, I would just go revisit it. And I would be in that state.
Yeah.
And sort of you almost trap yourself there, or at least I did. And just thinking back to those times now and thinking, man, I'm so grateful that I learned that lesson, or I gained that clarity from that situation. Has just been a beautiful shift for me.
Thank you, man. Thank you for sharing today. I've really enjoyed this, and I want you to know that I've really enjoyed experiencing life with you, and really excited for future present moments where we get to continue to do the same things.
Yeah, likewise, brother. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you, man. You ready to get in this water?
I will be grateful when it's done.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Infinite love to you all, and we'll be back soon.